Hey, it is your buddy, Peace and Harmony with you here today. Much love going out to all the beautiful empowered harmonizers. We are zooming in and focusing in a little bit more in depth on a great viewer question, and that is how to understand or undo that feeling of oppression. That's a great viewer comment that they brought up that they had experienced in their family system. And oppression basically means when you are sort of relegated to the peanut gallery. You're just sort of put into a space, a cold corner. Wear a dunce hat. Make to be as if you've got a label, that you're hanging from your neck, not good enough, not blank, blank, blank enough. And you could have a list that you could roll out with at least 100 adjectives that a narcissist that is involved with an oppressive narcissist, that they, your wrongs, your flaws, your failings, your shortcomings. I mean, they could fill, a 3-acre landfill with all sorts of other accusations that are usually false in nature. So, false accusations, which means people then feel targeted, blamed, responsible for negative emotional states that they then assume are supposed to be they're the cause that's created this effect outside of them. So, people then who find themselves in oppressive are really only dealing with a one-sided situation. So where that one person needs to be the authority, they need to be heard, they need to be seen, where others should not be seen, heard, or listened to. So it's a very sort of one-directional autocratic that creates this sort of oppressive feeling. And oppression is prolonged cruel, which is, think of that word cruel, or unjust treatment or control. Unjust, meaning unfair, out of balance, not weighing in on both sides. Unjust, unfair, not right, not checking out, not computing, not calculating. So if you can understand how many people, as a result of the relationship, were thrust into this imbalance through projection, through their coping mechanisms, to relegate one to being under their control, or as an object, meaning that you are relegated to something that they want you to be, only what they want you to be, that you cannot be who you are, seeing what you see, having the opinions, feelings, or experiences. These are invalidated. These are not valued. They are devaluated and extinguished, told not to be felt. This is called narcissist gaslighting. You don't feel hungry. You just did this. You don't feel tired. This and this. You don't feel, you are in the wrong. You did this and this. You don't have the right to feel angry. You don't have the right to feel sad. You don't, you should not be, so holding that your feelings you should not have. So this becomes oppression, where it's prolonged cruel or unjust treatment or control. So they don't teach. The narcissist does not know how to regulate their emotions. They don't know how to regulate their feelings. These largely go unregulated, which just means whatever the narcissist is trying to get, want, do, have, or become, that's all, that's really sort of fueling their engine, if you will. It's a mental pressure or distress. A mental pressure or distress. So, distress is not a goal state for a lot of people. They don't enjoy certain being distressed. Distressed meaning sort of stretched thin, worn, broken down, not robust and buoyant, happy and cheerful. So, distress means suffering from anxiety, sorrow, or pain. Suffering from anxiety, sorrow, or pain. This is a distressed state. You've heard of distressed genes. These are distressed emotions. They might feel afraid, just being worn out, broken down. You might have felt broken in by the narcissist to behave a specific way. But in the meantime, you're not allowed to be, breathe, feel, say, just your be state. So your presence, the fact that you might not be all these different ways that the narcissist is. So they have this very superficial, external sort of appearance that they need to keep going. This is their ego stroke. And oftentimes they feel very uncomfortable when this is a deficit or absent. So, these are the people who they can't show up to events on their own. They always need to have sort of a buffer, a partner, or they can be very avoidant, but they don't really sort of have long-range commitments to people. They can just really only seek to control and to sort of control an outcome for you. So people never get the experience of their freedom, their personal freedom, their personal I am, their empowerment. They are meant to feel fearful about this, hurtful, concerned, worried. This is not right, So it becomes this real inner struggle. This is known as oppression, where you've sort of been under this heavy cloud. So people describe it all sorts of different ways. Not able to speak up. Anytime you try to speak up, you're being told to shut up. I mean, this is just oppressive. You have to know that the narcissist, even though they appear oppressive, so you have to understand really just sort of the aftermath and own it. You know this, but the narcissist will not claim, they will not see that they've done anything wrong. They will not apologize. They have that much cowardice. They cannot apologize to people. You will not hear or feel the words, "I'm sorry." If you do, it'll be done gratuitously, sarcastically, sardonically. And sardonic is, I'm just going to look up that word here. Grimly mocking or cynical. So everything is made to be evil about their projection when they are oppressing. Meaning, they want to diminish others. So part of the oppression that you're feeling is being made diminutive, being made smaller. You can't stand up. You can't speak up. You can't have eyes on you. You can't have one foot in front of the other. You can't have accomplishments. These, are sort of darkened out, smudged out, if you will, in these oppressive situations. It is very uncomfortable. You are not, so when we talk about the be state and then the I am state, this oftentimes, your very foundation becomes a very uncomfortable place to be. And this is not natural. You are not supposed to feel this all the time. This creates a lot of anxiety, post-traumatic stress, feelings of inadequacy, self-doubt, indecision, indecisiveness, lack of planning for the future, lack of being able to perform or be productive at work or at relationships. And, people get sick of being subjected to this. So you'll feel that you're being subjected. And people do not like to feel this down way. And they're not validated for any sort of strength or any other dimension. So realize that the narcissist, if you're feeling this oppression and the sort of something is missing, is usually because there's a narcissistic lack of empathy and an exclusiveness. Part of the narcissist way is being excluded. So they're always trying to sort of put, you're over here and then we are over here. Creating posses, groups, little cliques, triangulation, controlling the outcome, manipulating, so that they're sort of writing the storyboard, how they want things to go. It's very deliberate, manipulative, controlling, and deceptive, so that they can control, almost like the shells. Remember, is it under here? Where's the ping pong ball? It's almost like that. They want to control all the little areas so that the outcome can be according to their wills, no matter who they have to throw under the bus. If you are then sort of experienced as a force to be reckoned with just because of your presence, this is oppression. This is like long time ago. This is not conducive with the information age or any sort of normal treatment. Oppression can be, when they're with you, they're always looking at their device, oppressing you, just not being in the present moment, not acknowledging, validating you, just sort of disappearing. They might just disappear, fall asleep, leave, be gone on a phone call, all these different things. This is oppression. They're trying to, you're at a restaurant and then they leave. You're not, so all these different things, and then they're all happy. And then, you're like, well, you just did it is oppression. So that's a very it's ill treatment. And it's usually because you're at the hands of a quote unquote ruler, whether you're looking at a ruler like a school book ruler, someone is trying to measure you down, measure you wrong. The negative projections, which are false accusations, they will just continue and continue. So whether you stand up for yourself or not, the false accusations will just keep coming. These people will just continue on. It's there before you showed up. It's for them to get momentum, steam, grease their wheels, grease their hands, whatever it is. The narcissist is all about a win. There's always a competition. That's what oppression is all about. It's about having sort of weakening others so that they can rise up. And, and then if you want to, be told to step down, sit down, and then if, just to be there on call, if another supply needs to show up, people will literally feel this way. And that is very painful in marriages, in these romantic relationships where you're sort of been committed and you had been all in and been mistreated in this way, oppressed in, your own right, oppressed in your own home, oppressed in your own workplace, oppressed in your own skin. I mean, it just does not make any sense. So you have to understand that this is a manipulation tactic, a defense mechanism. So it's a way for a narcissist to protect themselves and their self-interests. If they can project, meaning if they can assail guilt, blame, inadequacy on somebody else, and just let them, hang it on them like an ornament on a tree. You were all these negative things, and then everybody else, see, look. And this is just how they create these dynamics where they are in control. They are the bully. They are the one in charge. And no one else gets a chance for input. Nobody gets a chance for collaboration. Nobody gets a chance for checks and balances. Everybody else is on the out. Do you see how they create these they'll create these walls and be very divisive. So for a lot of people, this is very unpleasant. So at least hopefully you can understand the cause that creates this effect and the experience of what oppression is, and going, wow, this is not good for my evolvement, for my growing, for my development, for my becoming, for having like the Michelle Obama book Becoming. You cannot be on the cover of a book called Becoming if you're not allowed to become who you are. You're not gonna be able to have a becoming of yourself if it's on the outside in to approve, just with all the superficial items that the narcissist is usually after: materialism, money, greed, power, clout, title, all these different things that are based on an ego. So understand those dynamics and the cause that creates the effect, and realize that you are liberated, you are free, you are autonomous, you are a free human being, with free will and choice, especially it's not to subject yourself to harsh treatments, harsh situations, harsh people. That's, that might be very caustic or very oppressive and treat you very unfairly, and sort of create you through, through the you're out, you're in, and you don't even know that there's a vote up for this before you even show up. This is manipulation. Don't fall for that deception. It's just the narcissist is usually just sort of going through their own conversation with themselves, and they really don't have a lot of. They have an attachment disorder. So unless things snap into their controlling worldview, nothing else will matter. Nothing else will be of value or significance.